Hello everyone, today is 18th of December. My name is Sahil and welcome to the newspaper analysis. Friends, first of all, let's have a look on today's GS folder. So today we will be taking a quote from the Kofi Annan, the former United Nations Secretary General and the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. He had talked about the corruption. He says, if corruption is a disease, transparency is essential part of its treatment. Now guys, we can utilize this particular quote into the GS paper number 4 where specifically into the topic number 6 and 7 administrative ethics have been mentioned, and there transparency happens to be one of the most important attribute, as well as in GS paper number 2 governance related questions also this particular quote can be utilized. So guys, that's all about the GS folder, and now let's take the newspaper analysis. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Business Standard newspaper. This article is important for GS paper number 2, devolution of funds, as well as for the GS paper number 3, that is the mobilization of economic resources. Now, guys, what has happened here? Here, the central government has decided that it will be trimming up or rationalizing the scheme structure into India. Now, guys, before going into this particular news, let's see some background. You know that in India there are large number of developmental requirements, and therefore government runs a different kind of schemes. So guys, actually there could be three types of schemes into the India, major three types. One are the central sector schemes, other are the central sponsored schemes, and third are the state level schemes. Now guys, different states have different type of schemes onto their own initiative. We are not actually required for this particular front. So here comes the two important one. Now, when we talk about the central sector schemes, it means those schemes in which the entire 100% funding will be given by the center government. And this particular scheme happens to be a very important framework for the India's national development priorities. Then guys, the central sponsored schemes are there. These schemes are those where the money will be contributed by both the center as well as state into some designated ratio. For example, 60% money will be given by the center, 40% money will be given by the state. Now guys, when we talk about the government's budget, then the central sector schemes, they account nearly 22.3% of the budget in the financial year 2020-2021. And guys, when we talk about the number of the central sector scheme, there are approximately 685 such kind of scheme. Then guys, central sponsored schemes, see, they are very important because guys, here money are being transferred by the center government to the state government, and that money plays a very important role into the state's development. And when we are talking about such central sponsored schemes, guys, there are right now 30 schemes, and these 30 schemes have been rationalized. Earlier there used to be the 67 schemes, but on to the recommendation of 14th Finance Commission, they were reduced to the 30 schemes. Now guys, out of these 30 schemes, 6 schemes have been called as core of the core schemes because of their importance. And these 6 core of the core schemes are MG Narega, umbrella scheme for development of scheduled caste, umbrella scheme for development of scheduled tribe, umbrella scheme for development of minority, umbrella scheme for the development of other vulnerable group, and a national social assistance program under which the pension programs and all such kind of things comes. Fine. Now guys, what has happened right now, the central government has seen that there are large number of fiscal problems in India. Let's see them one by one. Number one, you have seen that Indian economy has entered into the technical recession, and for that particular thing government had actually need to increase the capital expenditure, and for that money is required. Then secondly guys, you know that right now the revenue collection has also been very much low, so therefore again the money constraint is coming. Thirdly guys, you know that now India is planning the vaccine policy, and into the very less time the vaccine will be rolled out to the general public, and for that vaccine administration also the money is needed. So therefore now to mobilize the fund, government is deciding that it will further be rationalizing the central sponsored schemes. So guys, guys, right now I told you there are 30 schemes. So government had just asked a kind of a suggestion from different departments and ministries, a kind of an evaluation report with respect to the performance of the schemes, and there could be a possibility that some of the schemes, even if they are serving the good purpose, they could be curtailed or their funding could be reduced. Now guys, see, when we are talking about these central sponsored schemes, always there has been the controversy here, because here I told you that the money is being given to the state, so state considers them very much important. Now guys, there are some of the criticisms of this particular move. Number one criticism is this, that guys, what has happened, if we talk now, the 15th finance commission has been constituted and it has even submitted the report to the parliament, which will be made public very soon. Now guys, before 15th finance commission there was the 14th finance commission, and I had told you earlier here only that the 14th finance commission also rationalized the schemes from 67 to 30. At that point of time, this particular thing was accepted by the state government. Why? Because at one hand the rationalization one was done, and at the second hand 14th finance commission also increased the devolution of a fund to the state government. Earlier guys, from the central revenue, 32% of the devolution was given to the state, and 14th finance commission increased it to the 42%. So therefore state government got satisfied. Okay, if money will not come via the schemes, then the extra 10% they are getting. But now guys, the 15th finance commission had already submitted the report, and 15th finance commission had actually said that 41% will be the share of the state. Even 1% has been reduced, and this 1% has been reduced onto the account of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, which has been made as a separate union territory. So guys, now already money has not been increased, but the schemes will be rationalized. So state government are saying that our money's source will be depleted. So state governments require that if center government moves forward in rationalizing of the scheme, either they should increase this particular money from at least 41% to 50%. This is the demand number one. Or demand number two, guys, if this money is not increased, then guys, more untied grants need to be given to the state government. Now untied grants are those type of grants on which there is no obligation to spend the money on a particular sector. Rather, state governments are free, anywhere they can spend the money. Now guys, thus tied and untied grants are also a very big problem into the center and state. What happens, even this money which is coming via the finance commission, much of the part is the tied. It means that wherever the center will say, only there the state has to spend the money. This also happens to be a big thing, so therefore untied grants have been asked. So guys, this is all into this particular direction, and as the time will pass, this issue might become a very big issue. So please keep all these things into your mind, and a highly relevant question could be asked in GS paper number 2. So that's it, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, here you can see this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper. And with respect to the farmer protest, the Supreme Court has recognized the farmers' right to protest and had said that they are 100% justified into this particular protest. And under Article number 19, the right to protest has been recognized, and Supreme Court is also talking about creating a panel under which the negotiation between the farmers and the government can happen. Now guys, the important thing which is coming into this particular direction is one particular judgment which I would like to point out. Now few days back, Supreme Court gave a judgment, that is the Amit Sahani versus Commissioner of Police. Into this particular judgment, guys, the Supreme Court was observing the Shaheen Bagh demonstrations, and Supreme Court here also said that okay, right to protest can be practiced, but if the right to protest is being exercised onto that particular place where the obstruction of traffic is there or general public is getting annoyed, then that protest cannot be allowed to be continued. Now guys, just see the farmers protest. So farmers are also protesting onto the highways which are connecting the national capital to the other states. So clearly secondly it can also be called as a kind of a protest which is obstructing the traffic and might be causing a general annoyance to the public because the essential supplies are being cut down. But here the Supreme Court had not expressed any kind of displeasure. Now guys, don't assume that I am saying that this particular thing is wrong, but I am just trying to show you a kind of a spectrum where if a question comes you can raise a point that how even onto the protest the different interpretation have been given. So just in order to have an idea, with this we will be taking the reference of this particular judgment. So guys, this is all into this particular direction. However, nothing more important into the article as such has been given, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Business Standard, and this article can be used as a reference point when you are talking about the ease of movement in India. Now, ease of movement happens to be a very important thing onto the economic consideration because, guys, you know that in India, majority of merchandise cargo it moves via the trucks, via the roadways, and you know that the condition of the Indian highway has not been very much convenient. And secondly, here guys, much of the money as well as the time as well as fuel is also wasted because of the mandatory checks, stopping at the toll highways and all such kind of thing. Now into this particular direction, guys, Minister of Road Transport and Highways had said that within the next 2 years there will be no toll plazas into the country. Now what is this particular thing? It doesn't mean that the tolls will completely be waived off, but it has been said that number one, the vehicles will be fitted with the GPS devices, and these GPS coordinates will be linked to the bank account of the people. Now what will happen the moment one particular vehicle will be reaching into the region where the toll was to be charged, then onto the basis of the GPS coordinate of that particular vehicle the money will be deducted from the bank account of the person who is the owner of this particular car. Now guys, already the commercial vehicles they are coming pre-fitted with the GPS devices, and the government will be coming with the scheme that other vehicles should also be fitted with the GPS devices within the next 2 years, and then there will be no need of establishing the physical toll plaza. Now guys, already government had taken some of the initiatives in order to promote the ease of movement in India. For example, guys, government had already initiated the fast tag, that is the RFID enabled tag which is installed onto the devices. Guys, RFID stands for the radio frequency identification tags. Now guys, within this RFID a kind of a sticker is pasted onto your vehicle, and the moment you approach near the toll plaza, the scan that this particular tag is read by a scanner and the money is automatically deducted from the account which is linked with this particular tag. And into this particular direction also a huge improvement has been seen, and guys, it has been said that up till the month of the November, the 3 by 4th of the tag toll payments or collections are being carried by the RFID, and now from RFID this will be the future. So guys, please keep this particular thing into your mind, and even if it is not implemented you can put it as a suggestion into your answer, particularly in GS paper number 3. So guys, that's all about this particular news, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and it is talking about the increasing convergence between the UK and the India. Now, guys, what has happened? The UK is transitioning officially out from the European Union after the Brexit, and into this particular transition time, UK is searching for the new partners, and into this foray, the name of India is very much prominent, and this particular thing can be seen from the fact that the Prime Minister of UK, that is the Boris Johnson, he will be coming to India as a state guest onto the Republic Day. And this is the first state visit by the Prime Minister Boris Johnson after the Brexit. Now, guys, here the Prime Minister of India has also been invited back to the UK and has been invited to join the G7 and the climate change COP26 that is going to be held into the next year. Now, guys, along with this particular thing, it has also been a kind of a 10-year roadmap has also been indicated by the Foreign Secretary of the UK who had just visited the India, and further appeals are being made that the cooperation between the India and UK, they should be elevated from the strategic partnership which was signed in 2004 to the comprehensive strategic partnership, which is the need of the hour, because the Britain as well as India are having several converging grounds, such as the military ties, close cooperation into the Indo-Pacific region. After that, the terrorism is a big problem which is plaguing the Europe, and India has also been a victim. And then the guys, the climate change action is also needed. So therefore, now it has been said that even more cooperation is needed between the UK as well as the India. Now, guys, as finally Britain is out of the European Union, various new free trade agreement have also to be signed independently with the UK. And into this particular direction, guys, the Mr. Johnson will be hoping a new round of negotiation with the free trade agreement with the India also. And guys, further, the economic cooperation might also be increasing into the coming years. Guys, see, if we see the time period from 2015 to 2020, it was a time that a kind of a stagnation came between the UK and the India, because the UK was preoccupied by the Brexit, and India also didn't take much of the initiative, and lesser of the issues such as the visa issue, sending of the fugitive businessman back from UK to India. These things have taken up the major limelight, and nothing substantial has happened. Though, guys, there were some irritants also which happened into the relation, that is the protest at the Indian High Commission into the London over the Citizenship Amendment Act, then over the revocation of article number 370. And guys, few days back, into the UK, some kind of observations have also been made with respect to the ongoing farmer protests that are going on, and this particular thing has not been appreciated much by the India. But the UK had justified that there is also the populistic population that goes into the UK because of much large number of Indian diaspora that is living into the UK, and because of that particular thing, such kind of observations do happen, and this is nothing to be worried on to the bilateral front between the two countries. So, guys, we can see here that a new chapter is going to start between the UK and India after the UK comes out of the Brexit. So that's all about this particular article, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Business Standard newspaper, and it talks about the new guidelines that have been announced by the SEBI for the mutual funds, and how this particular thing can increase the or can channelize the collective savings into India. Now, guys, before going into this particular article, let's first of all see some of the basic information. Guys, first of all, what do we understand by the mutual fund? So mutual fund is simply a kind of a way of investing your money. Now, guys, into the mutual fund, there will be the asset management company. This asset management company will be asking the people that please they give their money if they want to invest. And by hundreds and thousands and lakhs of people, when they will be giving the money, a huge fund will be created. And asset management company will be run by the professionals. And by this large pool of money, they will be putting that money into such kind of stocks, into such kind of debentures which pose a kind of a growth without too much of the risk. And whatever growth will be carried into these particular assets, the return will be transferred to the people. So, guys, into this particular way the mutual funds operate, and always it is suggested that people should invest into the mutual fund because of certain reasons. Number one, guys, the money is simply a kind of a resource, and when the resource is lying idle and or it is not working on to its optimum potential, then it is a wastage of resource. So the idle lying money, when it is channelized, it could be used for some other more productive kind of purposes. Secondly, guys, as these AMCs are managed by the professionals, the risk or such kind of things are also not that much there. Now, guys, when we talk about the mutual fund, then the SEBI says that only those people can start the mutual fund, or those AMCs can start the mutual fund which have the net worth of minimum 50 crore rupees, and for continuous 5 years they have shown a kind of a profitability. Now the norms have been liberalized, and the new norms are that 100 crore of net worth is to be shown, and this continuous track of a 5-year profitability, it might not be there. Now, guys, by this particular thing, it has been said that a new wave of participants will be entering into the mutual fund industry, such as the fintechs. And now the fintechs such as the Paytm, MobiKwik, PhonePe, etc., they will be entering into the industry and will be providing the customized products to the people. However, guys, this is the also truth that right now there are nearly 40 AMCs who are working into the mutual fund, and actually the mutual fund market has become over concentrated. And even then, guys, there are only 5 asset management companies which are holding the dominant share of the mutual fund industry. Though, guys, it is also true fact that at the same time the assets held by these asset management company has also increased progressively. For example, in 2014 only $10 trillion of assets were held by the asset management companies, and in 2020 it has increased to $30 trillion. So hugely we can see that 3 times the market cap of the mutual fund has increased. Moreover, guys, at the same time, this is also the true fact that majority of households in India, particularly into the middle classes, they have invested their money into the low yielding instrument, such as either they have put their money into the fixed deposit, or simply they are keeping the money into the cash, and this money is lying idle. And if it is put into the mutual fund, then, guys, many of the benefits can come to the household, as well as the market of India, which is capital starved, it can also get the boost. Now it has been said that the onus lies onto the various institutions and market forces that they can sensitize the people that they should invest the money into the mutual fund. Moreover, guys, now there is one concern also which is coming, that as new guidelines have been announced, there will be large number of firms such as the Paytm, etc., which will be entering into this particular market, but they don't have the financial expertise into this sector. And it also happens a thing whether they will be making such kind of investment decisions which can safeguard the money of the people or not. So right now what has happening, the fintech of India is turning into the wealth tech, and therefore right now both the fintech companies as well as the institution needs to keep the systemic checks, so that the people's trust into the mutual fund keeps intact, the wealth is generated for the people, and new wave of the financial products into the India can. So, guys, this is all about this particular article. Please keep all these things into your mind. Very important for our GS paper number 3, Indian economy and mobilization of economic resources. So, guys, that's all about this particular article. And now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and it is talking about the food security or the nutrition security in India. Guys, actually, this entire article is talking the major findings which has been taken from the National Family Health Survey 5, which has just been announced by the government. However, this entire issue, guys, along with this same picture, you can see we have taken up into the 15th of the December newspaper analysis, where into detailed I have told what are the findings of the NFHS, how the NFHS 5 is carrying some of the unique points. So all these things have already been discussed. You can refer to 15th December newspaper analysis. So, guys, that's it, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and here you can see that the ISRO had launched a satellite for the communication. So the satellite, it has been called as the CMS-01, and it is the 42nd communication satellite which has been launched or carried on board by the PSLV C-50. Now, guys, PSLV engines, they are the workhorses of the ISRO and have put the satellite into the orbit into their 52nd mission. Now, guys, the satellite will be providing the frequency to the entire mainland India, as well as the Andaman Nicobar Islands and the Lakshadweep Island. The life of this particular satellite will be 7 years. Now, guys, you don't need to go into the technical specification, because when we are talking about it, guys, nothing very substantial has actually been carried, and into this particular direction so many satellites have been launched. So specifically, you don't need to go into though that much of the detail. So that's all about this particular article, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and here you can see some of the attempt government is making to make India a gas based economy. Now, guys, India wants to be a gas based economy, and into this particular direction India wants to increase the share of the natural gas into the energy mix. Right now 6% of the energy is being derived by the natural gas, and India wants to achieve increase it to 15% by the 2024. And into this particular direction government had said that the $16 billion of investment will be made into the gas infrastructure, and into this particular thing the LNG gas terminal, the city gas distribution networks will be established so that people adopt the gas into much more frequency, and the share can rise from 6% to the 15%. Now guys, gas, rather than serving the domestic needs, can also be used as a convenient fuel for the movement and mobility, and it has been said that into the trucking and the heavy load mobility also, India is exploring that how LNG can be used as a transportation fuel for the long hauls. And into this particular direction, the fuel stations across the country, they are being equipped so that at par with the petroleum and diesel, they can also serve the LNG and can fulfill the mobility needs of the big vehicles. So guys, this is all into this particular direction. However, nothing scheme or anything has been launched. The address was given by the petroleum minister at one of the conference organized at the SOCHM. So just as a reference, you can provide it into your answers. So guys, that's all about the important articles for today. Guys, I hope that you are liking our discussion. Thank you so much.